Greetings to classmates and friends of St. Carlos High, class of 1965. This is Gary Lindbergh speaking, and we are very fortunate that Steve Hazelton has provided us with this video of his memories of St. Carlos High.
Hi, I'm Steve Hazelton. I'm here now in front of the stands on the football field at St. Carlos High School. Behind the camera there is a field that many of our thoughts about being a professional athlete came about and died. From the school, when I came here in the 60s, these stands were behind me were the only place that was here. Now there's stands on the other side. But on this field and on this track is where we all grew up. We had some good times here, and we had some bad times. Where the camera's at right now is the start-finish line for the track. I remember a number of times running around here in a 440 or in a 100-yard dash and finding out that my soul wasn't in it by the time the race was over. People had gone by, but you still wanted to finish. You always wanted to finish a race. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pan around here. The pole vault pit, the long jump pit that was here. Scoreboard wasn't here then. The houses that are built up around here were not here. But I still remember these stands and all these rocks. It was all here. These rocks haven't changed. Soon this will be housing and it'll all be gone. It's now March 2nd, 1988. And this is what's going to... St. Carlos High School now is being torn up. You can hear the saws going on in the foreground here. There's some construction workers working on top of these buildings here. The gymnasium and all the buildings. All the buildings are in a circle around a courtyard. And the gym is in the center with the swimming pool. This is soon to be new homes. The football field that many of us played on was out here at the bottom of this, behind these trees. Here's the baseball diamond. In front of us is the parking lot that many of us came to school each day and parked our cars here, cut out at lunchtime. But like I said, this is being purchased due to the school being closed, since there's not enough kids in the school district to keep it open, and this campus was one of the most expensive to keep running. How many of you all remember the front of this school? Coming here each day. You ever spend any time in the administration building over here? There used to be a nice plaque in the front that said St. Carlos High School. Mosaic that's gone. Buses used to come up here, drive up Melody Drive, up this driveway, park here, and let us off, and into school it was each day. Now there's a big fence around here. The weather's beautiful today. I can remember starting here in 1962 when these trees right here were just small little plants being first built. School teachers' parking lot was over here, which around the back of here was the tennis courts where you used to walk down and smoke cigarettes at lunchtime. High school is a big part of most people's lives because you're growing up, you're maturing, you're turning into a young man or woman, you're getting to find some feelings, sexual feelings as well as growing pains. Everything is so important to you, and as you grow older you see that it's just one more part of your life. I'm making this video because when they decide who's buying the property, I remember the hot afternoons of coming from school, walking up over here with your football uniform on, coming up here to these goalposts, standing around waiting for the coach to get ready to start another day of football practice. Many of us had never played football before. I hadn't. Some people had played Pop Warner football. But playing on this field was the only organized football that any of us ever did play and will ever play. And so our thoughts of being heroes and professional football players were all worked out on this field. Many of you went on to college and played. Maybe some of you even went on to play pro ball. But for most of us, right here on this field in San Carlos, California, San Carlos High School, was the beginning and the end of our football career. Those long, hard days of practice, the beautiful times during the game when you're playing, you forgot about everything else that ever meant anything to you. When we were here in the 60s, the scoreboard wasn't here. And as you can see, the scoreboard's not much today. But even so, looking at it now, it reminds you of a place that you grew up at. A place that you had a lot of fond memories of. Across the way is some bleachers that were built after I left here. And this whole track, anybody that was on the track team remembers running around this track here, feeling so tired, but when you're in the lead, you felt like the thrill of it all was right there. And watching the Olympics today and watching a lot of TV, you get that feeling and those memories of running around this track. All those hard days of practicing. And then here it was, Friday afternoon track meet, the school out here, people yelling and screaming and cheering you on. It was a real thrill. Here on this end was behind the goalpost here, as I remember, was the high jump pit. And here in front of me was either the pole, I think this was the long jump pit right here. This was the runway. And down here in the end, where the sand is at, is where the pit was. On the other side of the field, down here on the end, I believe we had, I forget. I think on the other side of the field was a pole vault pit. The reason I can't tell you if it was or wasn't because I neither pole vaulted or was in the long jump. But I sure had a good time growing up here, going to school here, and I'm taking these videos now so that we can all remember what this place looked like. Things that always bugs me, be it here or any place else, is trash. And overlooking these stands here, it makes me mad, but it makes me sad to see all these broken bottles and trash left here in these stands. Maybe it's just a way of life, but this school wasn't an inner city school. It was a new school. It was out in a neighborhood away from the downtown, and it was different. And the people that came here were different. It was a very unique school, and we all enjoyed it.
Steve's video is probably one of the last ever made at San Carlos High. And again, we greatly appreciate Steve's foresight and effort in creating it way back in 1988, and in sharing it now with us all.